Hey, so just want to comment a little bit about an incident on a British reality TV show that's caused a lot of debate. I haven't managed to see the clip because it's been taken down, or at least it's not available, presumably on copyright grounds, so you can't find it on YouTube, except those really annoying robotic voiceovers that show still images. So the show is called SAS Who Dares Wins. I've never watched it, but I was sort of aware of it. The SAS is, without question, one of the world's most elite military units. It's famous in the UK for a whole range of things, for intense physical demands, physical and psychological demands, um, and its involvement in covert operations and so on. And it really is very high in the scale of things in terms of some of the world's most intense paramilitary units, if that's the right term. I'm not even sure if that's the right way to describe it. One of my students in China even asked what he had to do to join the SAS. As far as I know, you have to be a British citizen. I don't know about that, but anyway, I want to talk about this incident that happened. So there was a boxing match, um, and it's attracted controversy because it was a male versus female setup. So there are women contestants on the show, and in this boxing match, midwife Louise Gabatas, I'm just reading from a tabloid newspaper here, was beaten by her opponent Nathaniel, doesn't give his surname. And it made for very uncomfortable viewing apparently, and everyone involved was uncomfortable with it. Her opponent was uncomfortable with it. She was badly beaten, and her face was bloodied. I don't know if her nose was broken, but her face was bloodied, and she apparently broke down in tears. And her opponent was obviously uncomfortable. He apologized and said that he tried to go easy. Apparently, she said not to apologize. Um, there's a lot of angles to look at this. The one obvious one is the freedom of choice issue. She knew what she was getting herself in for. She signed up to it. She put herself in that situation. The presenter of the show, um, is former Special Forces sniper Ant Middleton, um, and he said at the time of the decision, it's not about the SA course itself, but the brutal, violent, and aggressive realities of war. I believe that level, it's beyond the front line. It's humans hunting humans. Is not a place for women. Um, so whether he's bringing women on the show to make a point or not, I don't know. Like I say, I haven't seen the show. My own take on this is men and women are different. The fact of the matter is, the vast majority of men can't join the SAS because it's so physically grueling. Now, the average man is stronger than the average woman. It's just a fact. It's true that you get a rare woman who is quite physically tough, and you do get women boxers, women martial artists who probably could defeat a lot of men because that's what they do, what their profession is. Whereas the average man is not a martial artist. So, for example, someone like Cecilia Brækhus, the Norwegian boxing champion, or well, there's many others. I forget her name now. Very famous MMA fighter. And Wolf is another. There are tough women out there, and there are certain things. I mean, childbirth obviously is an incredibly physically demanding thing, which women go through. But I think it's just common sense that male female fighting situations are never going to be a level playing field. And I think it puts a man in a position. I made this point before. Most men are going to hold back because they know their own power and they know that they can physically really hurt a woman in a way that is more profound than the way they would hurt a man. Um, I'm dead set against male versus female fights in boxing. As a big boxing fan, I believe in equality, so therefore I believe in the opportunity for women to box against fellow women. I'm not particularly a fan of it, but I totally support the opportunity to do that. But as for male versus female fights, I think this is just a reminder of why it's wrong. Now, this contestant, she may well be quite physically tough, and clearly she was prepared to put herself through it, but she lost, and she broke down in tears. And the issue here is that there are combatants in this world who don't care about the notions of chivalry. You know, when we're talking about the likes of ISIS and other thugs who are out there, they're not going to say, "Oh, well, you're a woman, so I'm going to spare you." Quite the reverse. Now, what ISIS will be thinking is you're a sex slave. Now, there are some very brave women in the world. I'm thinking of the Kurdish women fighters, for example, but they're doing it as a necessity. In Britain, there isn't a necessity for women to join the SAS. You know, those Kurdish women are literally fighting for their lives, and they're immensely brave, and they deserve respect. And they're fighting alongside their equally brave male comrades. And there's been examples of in history, like during World War II on the Eastern Front, there were women fighting on the Soviet side because every man, woman, and child was a soldier. That was the Soviet mentality. Um, but you know, this is just an example of why we should just remember that men and women are different, different but equal. And there's an interesting thing about all of this. Feminists always demand equality. Well, I don't know what the feminist response to this has been, but many people would be tempted to say, well, here's equality. How do you like it? I.e., if a woman is voluntarily fighting a man, then this is equality. This is male strength. And it's equality because it's not equality of power, but it's equality of what you're doing. And a lot of guys are like, well, here's equality. How do you like it? Um, so, you know, women that put themselves in that position can't complain. And I'm not saying she is. You know, to be fair to her, she's not blaming her opponent, but it's kind of hypocritical to put men in this position where they're monsters if they hit women, but then saying, "Oh, women should be allowed that opportunity to fight men." So my message to feminists in relation to this is make your mind up. Either you accept that some things men do better, men are more capable of, or you continue fighting this losing argument that women can do anything men can do. Yes, they can fight, yes, they can box and so on, but against other women, against other women. The simple fact is, like I say, the average man is stronger than the average woman. This isn't, you know, physical strength isn't a matter of identity politics. It isn't a matter of sensitivities or um, it's just a matter of scientific fact, biological fact. The average man, the male body, is built stronger than the female body. And that's just the way it is. It's the way it's always been. You do get strong women and you get physically weak men, but they are the exceptions, they're not the norm. That's why, and this is probably a phony example, when I was on a long distance train journey from Jingzhou to Kaili in China, two ladies got on the train. They had a heavy bag. I lifted it up for them, not to virtue signal, just because it's a decent thing to do. And, I could see the woman was struggling. Um, and it was a heavy bag. So, they couldn't lift it up. That's just an example. And I'm not particularly strong. I'm not weak. I'm average. I'm just an average guy. So my point is, it's just biology. Men and women are different, and we need to just accept that fact. It's not a matter of saying that men are better. It's a matter of saying that men are physically more capable. In other areas, women might prevail. There'd be many areas where women would probably do better than men. But I think we just have to accept that So in a way, it's good that this show has shown that. I mean, if anything, this should be an argument against any sort of notion of male versus female fights in martial arts and boxing. I accept that there's a case for the equal opportunity argument, so for women to box, and I support that. I'm not a fan of it, but I support it. But if you ever had a situation of like, I don't know, say Vladimir Klitschko or a Deontay Wilder or a Tyson Fury fighting a woman, it's madness, absolute madness. And 99% of men in martial arts would not be happy with that. You get the odds. I know Mike Tyson once wanted to fight a woman, but that's Mike Tyson. I think that it's just a statement of common sense here. I mean, if she's going to break down in tears after being beaten by a man in a boxing match, how would she handle a life and death situation? That's just a boxing match. How would she handle a life and death situation? And I'm not questioning, she's there and I'm not, but I think the SAS is, for the toughest of the tough, and most men couldn't do it. I very much doubt I could. So this is just, I think this sends out a message, and people need to pay attention.